What's going on, filmmakers? I'm Alexandru, and today we're gonna take a look at the second part of the behind the scenes of a jewelry commercial. So let's take a look at the scene that we're gonna analyze today.
It all starts now. It all starts now. So hold steady. Oh, are you ready? It all starts now. So hold steady. Oh, are you ready? It all starts now. It all starts now.
So for those of you that are new to the channel, I really want to encourage you to watch the first part of this series and then come back to this video, because there's a lot of valuable information that I say in the first part, and that is going to be relatable to this video as well. So right now I want to go behind the scenes and talk about everything that took place in order to get this beautiful image that you just saw. So for those of you that saw the first part, you know that I talked a little bit about the lights that I used. Well, on this scene, I used a little bit of a different lighting technique. So that's why I think it's really important to go behind the scenes and show you exactly what I did. So for the second scene, I used a really big softbox that was 120 millimeter diameter, and it was really good in this situation. I had my softbox on a Forza 500, which is probably the most powerful light light produces, and it was really helpful because we were fighting again with the light that was outside. So whenever you film and you have windows behind your subject, it is really hard to compensate with light unless you have a really powerful light like we did. So we were lucky that we brought the Forza 500 on this shoot, and as you can see, I shoot everything handheld. And if you want to know more information about my camera setup and everything, I encourage you again to watch the first video that I posted. But for now, on this series, we're gonna talk only about lighting. So as you can see, in this situation, I have my light almost centered in front of her face. And that is because I really like to have no shadows on the actor's face and have a flawless lighting. And I explained in the first video as well that lighting female faces is really different than lighting male faces, and that is depending on what kind of content you shoot. But mostly if you shoot beauty commercial, you really need to be careful with your lighting, because female faces are really sensible, and you really need to pay a lot of attention, as they pay a lot of attention with their face, their mask, their creams, and everything they do. So that's why you have to put light perfectionally, because they spend a lot of time on makeup and all of that, so it has to be perfect. But anyway, I'm just joking. The reason that I do that is because I don't like to have harsh shadows on female faces, so I try my best to light smooth and perfect. So as you can see, we have a little bit of flare in the left corner, and that flare is...
Could you say that again? Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Siri gone mad. So as you can see, we have a little bit of sun flare on the left of the screen, and that is not actually a sun flare. That is actually my Nanlite Forza 60B with a projector lens. It mimics the sun really good. I really love how it looks, and we also used a lot of haze because we wanted to have atmosphere. Look how good the Nanlite Forza 60B mimics the sun. It's absolutely crazy. It looks so real. That light, even though it's so small, it's super powerful, because when you combine it with the projector lens, it gets on another level of power. Imagine the projector lens made for Forza 500. That is absolutely mind-blowing, which I actually have, and we should test it out, but on another video. So as you can see, the lighting is absolutely beautiful. I really love how it turned out. I also made some VFX shots with my Fx6 filters, which I presented in the first part. So if you haven't watched the first part already, you should really go check it out, because I talk a lot about the gear and everything. But look at the results. The results are really nice, super interesting. I love how it looks. I love the effects. I love that you go in and out of focus. It's really beautiful. Now, let's go and show you exactly what I did in order to light this thing. So I'm gonna open my tablet and I'm gonna draw my lighting diagram. So we're gonna start by drawing the set. So I have here the piano and I have here my actress. So my main light was here. So this is the softbox with the Forza 500. And the Forza 500 has a single white balance, so it was set to daylight. This light was giving me light like this, and my camera movement was from here. So I was having this angle to over here. We also had some plants here. My backlight was Forza 500, Forza 60B with the projector lens, which was over here. And this one was hitting like this. So it's basically a 2-light setup, which is kind of crazy that a 2-light setup has this beautiful result. So also my camera settings, a lot of you guys ask me about my exposure settings. So let's get that clear as well. So the Forza 60B with the projector lens was at full brightness, and the Forza 500 was as full brightness as well. When my camera settings were something like 100 frames per second, autofocus in 4K, my exposure index was something around 800 ISO with 180-degree shutter. And I also had an ND on, the variable ND, which I don't remember exactly the value, but it was almost maxed out because I shot everything at f1.2. And I also changed my position a little bit, and I went a little bit over the other side of the light. I didn't change my lighting setup at all, so I left my lighting where it is. And I got some shots from the different angle, and I think I got some beautiful shots as well. So we're gonna take a look at the shots right now. So as you can see, the lighting looks really, really beautiful. And here the backlight is not that present because I didn't want to have a really ugly shadow on this part of the face. So I put the backlight in a different position. So I only joggled with the backlight. I only moved the backlight in the position and my key light stayed the same. And I did this because we had to shoot 5 scenes in the same day and I want to be as fast as possible. And this is kind of what happens when you want to be fast. Again, I use the Vaxis filters, which look really beautiful. You can do a lot of great effects, especially if you use slow motion. You can move the glass in front of the lens and you can get really beautiful effects, as you can see. So I also wanted to get a little bit creative, and we moved the actress in a different position. So I put her near the plants. As you can see, she is really close to the plants, and I moved my key light a little bit closer. And as you can see, we have this beautiful sun reflection, which is the Forza 60B, mimics the sun really good. And I really like how it looks. It's a really summery vibe, a really beautiful vibe. And the beauty of it, because we have such strong backlight, natural backlight coming through the windows, we can't actually see the stand of the Forza 60B because it covers it up. Also, the shallow depth of field helps a lot, but as you can see, it mimics the sun really good. We also did some really interesting shots with her playing the piano, and here we played a little bit with the projector lens. We kind of made the beam of the projector lens really, really shallow, and we panned the projector back and forth, and we kind of got some beautiful flaring on the jewelry as well. So I really loved how this turned out, and I think it looks really beautiful. Anyway, let's take a look at what we're gonna see in the next part, because I really want to make you curious, and I really want you guys to subscribe so you can see and be here when I launch the part 3 of this series. So in part 3, we're gonna take a look at some really beautiful shots I managed to make in the same location. So I only did a couple of changes and I made this look. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you stay close to this channel because we're gonna do a lot of this behind the scenes on the future. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching and see you on the next part. Cheers!
It all